Chris Lee and Chase Robinson here to preview another SEC bowl game. This one, Texas Tech against Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Friday, December 27th, 6 Central. You can catch it on ESPN. Last I checked, Arkansas was about a 2.5-point favorite at BetOnline with an over-under of around 59.5. My model had Arkansas by 1. God help you to know what to do with this game. You got transfers, all kinds of player movement on both sides, injuries. This one, not the easiest one for us to try to analyze here, Chase.
Yeah, it's tough. You look at Arkansas starting center, starting left guard, starting right guard, starting tight end, starting wide receiver, starting safety, all in the portal. And then there's a long list of guys who do see action, who have a lot of snaps, who are also in the portal. Not sure what Andrew Armstrong's going to do. He potentially might opt out of this game from what I've read. So it's hard to make of what this Arkansas team will even look like and who will be on the field for this game, because they have just been decimated in the transfer portal.
Let's go ahead and pull up the matchups by the numbers, starting with when Arkansas's got the ball. I mean, for whatever this means, right? We try to bring an analytical side to it. I don't know how much attention you can pay to the numbers if a lot of these guys aren't going to be there. Arkansas's offense, when it was rolling, was pretty special at times. But as you pointed out, some of those guys may not be there. But I guess Taylen Green's still going to be there, which is a big deal. And this was a defense for Texas Tech, which gave up a lot of points.
Yeah. And we've seen Taylen Green, Chris, when he's on, like he looked really good and was able to move really well. And with a team like Texas Tech, who does give up some points, I'd like to think that Taylen Green will be able to get some things done. But again, with all those guys out, especially up front, the offensive line, those guys, those starters, 3 starters on your offensive line in the transfer portal could make for a long day for Taylen Green in this game if Tech is able to get back there and put some pressure on him. So I'd like to think Arkansas could move the ball in Texas Tech, but again, it's going to take a good push from these guys who are going to be coming in on the offensive line, I think.
Yeah, let's flip sides of the matchup. Before we do, reminder, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen, with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today. Don't forget to use your promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here. All right, let's look at Arkansas's defense, which was leaky at times late in the year, and Texas Tech's offense, which put up a lot of points against pretty much anybody and everybody. What stands out to you on this side of the matchup, Chase?
Well, I think it's again, it's hard to gauge, but I feel like there's not as many transfers for Arkansas on the defensive side of the football. I think there's more stability on this side for Arkansas, and so I think that will most definitely help. Texas Tech can score points, and I think this is going to be a big test for the Hogs, and so it's hard to, because Tech does have some guys out, not near as many as Arkansas, obviously, but their starting quarterback is out. He had to have surgery right after the season, and so they're going to have freshman Will Hammond, who he saw some action this year, but he's going to be starting. They've got 2 receivers who have already been in the portal. They do have a couple of starters who are back, though. Guy up front is struggling with some injuries, so freshman quarterback, it could be a struggle for Texas Tech offensively. It's not going to be, and not because of the portal of everything, but this is going to be a different Texas Tech team from what we saw because of the injury to their starting quarterback. So with Arkansas having some of these guys staying on defense and a lot of changes, Texas Tech because of injury on offense kind of gives Arkansas the edge on this particular side of the football.
Now, one thing to watch here, Tahj Brooks, is we're doing this. We're not sure whether he's playing the bowl game or not. Ran for over 1,500 yards. In addition to having, a quarterback out, that would be another big piece out for Texas Tech if it happens. Again, we don't know as we're doing this. It's, a couple weeks ahead of the bowl game, but that would be a big impact loss for Tech if he's out, Chase.
It would be. Again, to have some stability like that would be huge for Tech, especially with a freshman quarterback. But yeah, in the opt-out world we live in, that is very possible. That Brooks does opt out of this game. He's listed as a potential opt-out at things that I've seen, and so that would be tough for Texas Tech to have him out as well.
All right, let's get to picks and why. We'll start with you.
Again, this one's really hard to pick. I'm going to take Arkansas, though, because I do feel like Texas Tech is just not the same offensively without their starting quarterback. They're not going to be able to put up the points that they have. I think the Hogs have got enough defensively, and I think if Taylen Green plays in this game and if he can play to his potential, then it could be a good day for the Hogs, and they could get a bowl win.
I have no idea. For lack of a better idea, I'll take the team that's got its starting quarterback and the team that could get some stops defensively. Now, having said that, Texas Tech, the bleeding on the other side stopped as the season went on, at least relatively speaking, because you go back and look at the opener, this team gave up 51 points to Abilene Christian in overtime. There were some ugly games. Did beat Arizona State in the middle of the season before Arizona State was what it became, but gave up 59 to Baylor late. Hey, we know Bobby Petrino and those guys can put up some numbers on people. In these games, you just don't have any idea who wants to be there. I'm going to go Arkansas just based on the quarterback availability and a greater ability to get stops based on the course of the season, but God only knows. All right, we'll be here to talk about it afterwards. Hit that subscribe button, enable your notifications so you see when we do go live. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16 presented by BetOnline.